Hello, welcome back. I don't want you to see the game yet, but we got a poster. AFL Fury. I don't know if I'm going to do this every event because this is a shit poster. I need to really work on my posters. But yeah, we got the picture of Wmma versus Aldo Does Xavier in the corners. It's happening on the 31st of the 10th, 1994, Las Vegas, Nevada. This would be printed out and posted everywhere. Al Gypsy versus Jason Dalusi, Kevin Rossman versus Oleg, David Leishner versus Remso Plody and Trent Jenkins versus Tulu, and many more. We'll go through that in a bit, but we got I received a newspaper this morning from someone. This is a fighter that came through the post. It didn't. I made this. I'm really proud of this. So it's the 6th edition of the fighter. It came out on the 31st of the 10th, 1994, the day of Fury. And it says here, the main headline, AFL introducing weight limits. As I can show you now, I have only done this page. But if you want me to actually start releasing this as a thing every few months into the game database where we talk about different things of the fighter championship, I can try my best to do that. American Fight League is introducing weight limits after a long year in business. I'm going to get rid of all that because I don't want you guys seeing all the bits I haven't done anything with. The American Fight League has announced yesterday at their weigh-in for their show Fury, but they'll be introducing weight limits to the fights. The current champion Kevin Schott will be in the heavyweight division along with 26 other fighters. The light heavyweight division will include 27 fighters and will hold a one-night-only tournament to crown a champion in January of 1995. For that division title, the middleweight has a total of 15 fighters, and this will have a tournament to crown a champion in February. The welterweight division will have its champion crowned in December when 4 of its top fighters will compete to be crowned first. There is also 5 other fighters. The featherweight is the smallest division, pun not intended, as it has 9 fighters to its name. So does this one. It doesn't make sense, but it's because I've changed it a bit. But the AFL will be hiring more soon. We spoke to JJR, CEO and owner of the American Fight League, at the weigh-ins last night. He had this to say. We have the biggest roster of fighters, and the next 2 shows will not change. But we need to make the competition fair for all fighters, and this is why we have introduced these divisions ready for December. And we hope this bring more action for the fans who join us every month. We hope this project works, and it's going to be fun to see what happens in December once this goes into full effect. But we've got 2 fights with the open weight first, including tonight. There should be 2 events. But yeah, so the fighter there kind of really doing well. I really am proud of that because it kind of just sums up what's going on. I think we're going to have obviously a lot more of this style for me coming up in TW 2020. This was an experiment for TW 2020. So I think it really worked. I think it has it makes the universe feel more fleshed out. It makes the universe feel more realistic. You know, this is something we've decided to do. We've made the announcement last night. It's going to hit the papers. We can do stuff about UFC. If UFC do something, I'm going to do a news headline for the fight or for them. And I'm going to flesh this out. I might do an episode every now and then where it is just me going through. Hold on a minute. You want to go in there, do you? Hold on there. Go on then. Here you go. It's open. Well, I just flesh it out. We have interviews. You know, we have stories about fighters and, you know, up-and-coming fights in different companies. We talk about all what goes on in and out of the UFC world. And I can make, you know, work on this every now and then. So to do an episode, I can just do this in a day, and that took me a morning to do, but I could do each section. And we could do something like that if that's what people want. But we'll see. I don't know how well that's going to go down. That's our poster. We'll get rid of that. So Ghost Myths and Legends of England episode. This is all going to go out next week. So even though we've got enough now, and I could have put it out this week, as you can see here, that's episode 8 been rendered. But yeah, we've got all of these done. This is episode number 9. When I have 10 episodes, I will then pull it out for everybody. I'll start uploading it to YouTube. And I have an idea. So don't try and get me to... So... yeah, basically, I'm not going to stop because, as I say, I've got AFL Glory Days, which is going to have a main event by Ken Shamrock versus Mason Warner. In the heavyweight, we've got the welterweight title. You've got a light heavyweight, you've got a middleweight, two other heavyweight fights, actually 3 other heavyweight fights and a few more welterweight fights. It's going to be an interesting show, but yeah, I don't know if there's any way of really showing you the divisions. or the weight classes. There you go. So yeah, you can see all of the people who are in there. It's 27 in. The reason being was the featherweight only had 4 in, but I've now put 9 in. So the welterweight and the featherweight are very even on fighters, whereas the middleweight, light heavyweight has 13, middleweight has 15, and so on and so forth. It's just a bit fun. Hopefully it's going to bring a bit more fun. But first, we've got 2 events. Of course, AFL Impact, which, you know, hasn't got the weight limits in tow. Is there any prelims? No. I don't know if there's any prelims on Fury. Yeah, there's one. Anthony Marcus versus Gaz Mooker. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the newspaper article. I hope that. And I hopefully you enjoyed the poster a little bit. It's a bit of fun. It was fun for me to write. I wanted to give you, you know, I didn't want to come in and go, right, we're now having weight limits. I wanted to give make the universe feel more lifting. And I'll be doing the same with the TW 2020 series as well. I'm going to try and make everything feel like it's a realistic, you know, fully fleshed out living universe. Whether that means having to do an episode on newspapers. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So we got Chex Beastman versus Aldous Xavier, Aljipso versus Jason Deleuze, Kevin Rosa versus Oleg Takatova, David Levkaz versus Remco Pradolo, Trent Jenkins versus Talo, Yukin Nakanara versus Renzo Gracie, Marcus Bosta versus Rafael Kodiri, Kimo Lapidalo versus Setsia Wmma, Matt Hume versus Duke Van Divan, and Rickson Gracie versus Ray Wizard. And you can see all the different weight limits here and how unfair it is in a way. And then got Anthony Marcus versus Guysmakers. So we're now giving you weight limits. Of course, they ain't got to worry about them. The fighters ain't got to worry about them. People on the cards ain't got to worry about the weight limits until December. So it's going to be interesting to see. Bluecast pre-show analysis for Fury being held in Nevada. This is the 7th AFL show of 1994. We're due to have 10 main fights plus a single prelim bout. Also, Naki takes on Renzo Gracie. Rickson Gracie meets Wade Rizzard. Kevin Rossner versus Oleg Takatova. And David Link fights Ramco Padalo here tonight. So this is both fighters' first time headlining a big show. This is the first time these two have fought. Beesma enjoys a significant weight advantage. Beesma has an 8-inch reach advantage. The betting lines have Beesma as the big favourite to win. You ain't kidding there. This is the first time these two have fought. Gibson will enjoy a significant weight advantage. Betting odds have Dalushi as the favourite by a large margin. This is the first time that these two have fought. Rosa will enjoy a significant weight advantage. Betting odds have Takatova as a favourite by a huge margin. This is the first time these two have fought. Padlo will enjoy a significant weight advantage. The betting lines have Padlo as the big favourite to win, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes down. Come here then! This is the first time these two have fought. It's Talu versus Trent Jenkins. Talu enjoys a significant weight advantage. Betting lines have Jenkins as the big favourite to win. That cat meals one more time today. God help him. This is the first time these two fought. Gracie enjoys significant weight advantage. It's not even out here. We've got 5. So people think Renzo Gracie is going to win, but Mark and J. Jim think it's not. It's going to be interesting to see. This is the first time these two fought. The Grasshopper, Marcus Bassett versus Rafael Cody. Barrett enjoys significant weight advantage. The for debut Bosie. The betting odds are Cordio as a favourite by a huge margin. And then this is the first time these two have fought. Chemo enjoys significant weight advantage. And then Matt the Wizard, Hume versus Devan. First time these two have fought. Devan has a 5-inch reach advantage. This is the debut of Hume. And this betting odds have him as a favourite by a huge margin. He reminds me of Martin out of EastEnders. And then Gracie submitted the 5 of his last opponents. This is the first time he's fought. Gracie enjoys a significant weight advantage. And the betting odds have Gracie as a favourite by a huge margin. And it's the first time these two have fought. It's Anthony Mad Dog Marcy's versus Sandman Guys Magazi. Magazi enjoys a weight advantage. She has 8 injuries. Both fighters making the pro debut. Betting odds of Magazi as a favourite. It's a huge margin. I will be back in a second because I've got the important thing about recording. Have a wee before you start. So I'm going to go for a toilet and I'll be back. We are back. So yeah, just need to go for a toilet. One thing I always give you a tip for, and I never really do myself, is if you're going to record on YouTube, make sure you go for a loo beforehand, because you end up needing to go and you have to stop recording. Alright, I will stop again if the missus comes back before the show is finished, but we'll see what happens here tonight. But Anthony Marquez versus Guys. Anthony Mad Dog Marquez versus Guys Magaiser. And this is the night's only prelim fight. Anthony Mad Dog McKaiser takes on the Sandman Guys Magazer in the AFL heavyweight division. Okay, so they are going to be using the divisions, even though they're mostly catch weight. Hello. How can we help? How can we help a mad cat called Marie? So let's begin. Big John McCarthy will be the referee. The judges are Lance Dewey, Perry Bruce, and Lorio Masters. There's a big size during this fight. McGuizer is probably at least 25 lb heavier. That's a major disadvantage for Marquez trying to overcome. I'm going to ignore how the divisions are laid out at the moment because we've only just added the divisions. So, as I said, they're not going to matter. So if it says heavyweight, it probably isn't heavyweight at all. More likely, it's probably a lightweight or it's just an open weight, catch weight fight. The fight begins to come together and strike. McKenzie connects with a left hand, then McGuizer finds a good angle and lands a nice 1-2. They engage in the centre. McKenzie doesn't connect with the left jab, but hits a right cross. McGuizer hits a left jab and also lands a nice right hook. The two fighters engage. McGuizer is off target with the left jab, but hits a right cross. McGuizer lands two jabs but has a right hand absorbed on the glove. Both fighters come together and strike. McGuizer hits a left jab but misses a right hook. McKenzie uses a left jab and also hits a left hook to the body. Moving to the second half of this round, the two fighters come forward and engage. McGuizer misses a right cross that leaves him wide open to the counter. McGuizer comes in with a jab and a left hand to the body. Two fighters engage. McGuizer misses with a big right hand, allowing McGuizer to counter a left jab and attempt to shot to the body, but gets taken on the arm. They engage in the centre. McGuizer counters a right hand with a left hook. That was a perfect example of how McGuizer can use his weight advantage. He has an option to keep McGuizer back by picking him off. They come to go and strike. McGuizer misses a right hook and gets countered with a couple of jabs, followed by a low kick that doesn't connect. Round one time expires. I'm going to give that one to McGuizer, not McGuizer. Yeah, definitely. Look at the amount of there. You can see I think McGuizer's got this in the bag. Yeah, 10-9 to round to McGuizer. McGuizer heavy favourite and has stomped the authority on the fight in that first round. We're back underway here. The two combatants meet in the centre and start strike. McGuizer misses a right cross that leaves him open to the counter. McGuizer attacks with a quick left jab and a right cross. They engage in the centre. McGuizer hits a jab but has a right hook block. McGuizer connects cleanly with the right hand. Two fighters come forward and engage. McGuizer misses with a big right hand, allowing McGuizer to counter with a left jab and a right hook. We go past the halfway point of this round. They stand in and trade in the centre of the cage, but neither fighter can land a good shot. The exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere. We're into the final minute of the round here. The two fighters engage. McKenzie misses a right hook and gets countered with a kick to the lead leg. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. McGuizer counters with a right hand and left hook to the ribs. The two fighters engage. McGuizer slips past the right and counters with a left jab and a right cross that just misses. The time is up on that round. Yeah, again, McGuizer. And as you can see, he's on the prelim card, but I think he's going to be working himself very quickly up to main card. So McGuizer's up 20-18 in my scorecard. The two fighters come forward and engage. McGuizer hits a big jab that has a right hand blocked. McGuizer lands a left jab and then a left jab and a right cross. I'm going to have a quick drink because I need it. Exchange strikes, see both fighters fail to land anything significant because he's slowing just a little bit as he starts getting a gas tank a bit. The two fighters engage. McGuizer misses a right hook and gets countered with a left jab and a left hook to the body. There's no question that McGuizer is getting badly outstruck so far in the fight. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. McGuizer misses with a big right hand, allowing McGuizer to counter with a left jab and a big right hand that just misses. McGuizer is slowing just a little as he starts to get in the gas tank a bit. We're now past the halfway mark in this round. Both fighters step into strike. McGuizer slips past the right hook and counters with a couple of jabs followed by a left hand to the body. We have 1 minute in the round with 4 fighters engaged. McGuizer finds a good angle and lands a nice 1-2. McGuizer uses a pair of left jabs and also lands a right hook. Both fighters meet in the centre. McGuizer misses a right cross that leaves him open to the counter. McGuizer attacks with a quick left hook. McGuizer glances at the corner and gets a few words of encouragement in response. They engage in the centre. McGuizer dodges a right hand and counter attacks a left jab and a nice right hook. Time expires and we come to the end of round 3. And I'm sorry, but McGuizer has won that. I think McGuizer took that. So on their pro debut here tonight, McGuizer has proved himself worthy and has took himself to the top. Now, I think if you look at, he's not quality inflated with anything. He is in the lightweight division. He's in the middleweight division, so be interesting. With 1 round left, realistically, he needs to stop his opponent in order to win. Oh yeah, there's 4 rounds, isn't there? That's the battle, and the final round begins. They engage in the centre. Mikasa connects with a left hand. Mikasa hits a left jab, but also scores with a quick kick to the lead leg. Both fighters step in and strike. Mikasa slips past the right hook and counters with a left hand. Mikasa is starting to have to push himself now, and his corner responds by urging him on a little louder. Both fighters step in to strike. Mikasa misses a right hook and gets countered with a quick left jab and a hook to the body that doesn't land. Both fighters move and engage. Mikasa misses a jab but connects with a right hand. Mikasa scores with a jab and also scores with a great right hook. We pass the halfway mark of this round. The 2 fighters engage. Mikasa misses a right hook and gets countered with a pair of left jabs that are followed by a right hook that is avoided at the last second. There was under a minute left in this round. Both fighters step in and strike. Mikasa misses a big right hand, putting him off balance and allowing Mikasa to attack with a quick left jab and a right hook to the ribs that doesn't land. Mikasa, who's looking very tired, gets grabbed by Mikasa. Using his wrestling skills, Mikasa is trying to push Mikasa up against the cage. Oh, I wonder when this would happen. He does so and now has Mikasa pinned to the cage. Mikasa is looking very tired. Mikasa catches Mikasa with a knee strike to the thigh. Then he hits a nice knee strike to the thigh again. The fight comes to an end and the time limit expires. We don't even need to look at fight metrics here. You can see in round 4, it's Mikasa has this. Yeah, the official score has been pointed out now, 40-36. The Sandman guy, Mikasa, is the winner by unanimous decision. And there's your official result. The Sandman Mikasa defeats Anthony Mad Dog Mannix. Unanimous decision in 3 minutes of round 4. The fight has been rated as average, of course. They did all 4 rounds to the very end. And I'll give him credit, he put his fight up there, but he just couldn't do it. Guys, my name checks all his sponsors, and thanks for all of his fans who turned out to support him. He celebrates his AFL debut victory and says that he's already looking forward to his next fight. Well, next up is Rickerson Gracie goes head to head with Ray Wizard here tonight. Is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu versus Karate. Our referee is Shane Reyes. The judges for this bout are Leo Masters, Milton Walkers, and Eliris. Wizards facing major fight in the fight. He has probably given up at least. This is why I've done the weight divisions, so he stopped getting that message. Gracie shoots straight in, looking for the takedown. He gets a big takedown, ends up in half guard. Gracie pounds away. Wizard is being troubled and is definitely rocked. Gracie pounds on Wizard and is definitely being big trouble and is definitely being rocked. Gracie pounds away with rights. Wizard's eating some sickening heavy shots to the face. Wizard taking a beating. Referee Shane Reyes has to stop the fight. The winner by technical knockout, Rickerson Gracie. The visualized Rickerson Gracie defeats Ray Wizard by technical knockout, aka strikes, in 1 minute 18 of round 1. The fight is being rated as good. Well, that's how you get a fight out of the way. Yeah, let's be honest. Well, I want to win here tonight. So Ray Wizard, as you can see, he is a welterweight fighter. He is a heavyweight fighter. Yeah, number 2. So hence why we brought the divisions in, because it's going to make these matches fair. That takes him to 8-1. That takes him to 3-0. He's not doing very well. With the Gracie Nation checks everyone at Lions Den, all his face sponsors, and his family, friends, and supporters. But another match is about to begin as Matt the Wizard Hoon. Okay, Matt Wizard the Hoon takes on Duke Van Duven. And he seriously looks like Martin out of EastEnders. I don't know why, but he reminds me highly of Martin out of EastEnders. And I know a lot of people might not know what the frick I'm on about, so I'm going to show you. I know it's Martin. Modern day Martin, there he is. There's modern day Martin Fowler, as he's known. Look, they look similar. It's creepy, right? Anyway, let's go on the match. Mark Hayes is the referee for this fight. This is the only reason he's hired. I wish you could change the people's names in the game, so he could be called Martin Fowler in the company. The fight begins. Hoon comes in looking for the takedown. Hoon dives forward and gets the takedown. Devan couldn't quite stop it. Hoon ends up holding seated Devan around the waist, pressing him up against the cage. Hoon tries to ensure Devan in a guillotine. Hoon puts the guillotine, applies pressure, and Devan has to tap. The winner by submission, Matt Hoon. The official result is Matt the Wizard Hoon defeats Duke Van Devan by submission with a guillotine in 56 seconds of round 1. The fight is being rated good. Jesus. Matt Hoon gives name checks to everyone at Lions Den, all his various sponsors and all his friends, family, supporters. Matt Hoon celebrates winning his debut fight for the American Fighting League. Duke Van der Van needs to retire because he ain't doing very well. Well, next up, we've got one of my favourite fighters, or one of my favourite looking fighters, Kimo Leopardado, squares off with Satsia Wmma here tonight. 5'11", 6'3", 250, 225, hence why we're bringing the weight limits in. Lance Dewey, Perry Bruce and Laurie Masters. Yep, there you go, ignoring that. Round one, we start with a touch of gloves. Wmma can't connect with a jab, but then lands a right hand. Kimo chooses to shoot in on Wmma. Wmma can't stop the takedown, only catches Kimo in half guard. Kimo starts trying to work out to get out of the half guard into a better position. Wmma finds his opponent too skilled, and Kimo passes half guard into full mount. Kimo pounds away. Wmma is taking heavy shot after heavy shot. Referee Mark Haynes pulls Kimo away, stopping the fight by TKO. The winner is Kimo Leopardado. The official was Kimo Leopardado defeats Satsia Wmma. TKO strikes in 1 minute 32 of round one. The fight is being rated as good. That's 1 submission and 2 TKO finishes here tonight. We've only had 1 match go full rounds. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to get through the show quite easily if this is going to be the ongoing thing. I'm hoping not. Kimo Leopardado thanks all his sponsors and all of his fans. You're welcome. Next up is moving on. Next is the Grasshopper Marcus Bossit competes against Rafael Cordio. Now, many people are asking, he is a low-level regional. He's on the main card. It's because he works for Icon and Shuto, and I think they've got some sort of deal. So it's going to be interesting. Our referee Shane Rears, of course, they're both. He's got 1 win in his loss. He's got 1 loss. The judges are Laurie Masters, Milton Wilkies, and Il Ellis here tonight. The size difference is clear for all to see. There you go. It's coming up again. That's why I've kind of put the weight divisions in. Corsia comes forward and the 2 fighters start trading blows. Bossia tries to hit a jab but misses. Corsia lands 2 jabs and then lands a sick right head kick. He's down, Bossit falls to the floor. Corsia moves in quick, leaning beside Bossit and starting to hammer down with punches. Corsia pounds away with right hands, Bossit is getting smashed. With Cordia pound away, referee Shane Rare stops the fight. Bossit took more than shots were necessary. In my opinion, the referee should have got in there quicker. The winner by TKO again is Rafael Cordio. The official results: Rafael Cordio defeats the Grasshopper Marcus Bossit by TKO strikes in 43 seconds of round 1. The fight being rated as good. Can we get any further with these matches tonight, guys? Come on. Rafael Cordio thanks all his sponsors, both backing him. Also thanks his family, friends, and supporters. Hopefully, Renzo Gracie versus Yukai Naki is going to be a better fight. I hope. Fingers bloody crossed. Not that I'm complaining. It means I ain't got a lot of reading to do, but you know, I'd like to see a match go the distance and have to go down to the judges tonight. But you know, or at least get to round 3 before it finishes, not like 45 seconds of round 1. Jordan Lancy Dory, Perry Bruce, and Laurie Masters. I forgot to read the referee. Can I go back? Mark Haynes. And here we go. Gracie comes forward to the attack. Nakuni misses with a left hand in the exchange. Gracie connects with a nice jab, then he hits Nakuni with a beauty of a straight right. Gracie comes forward on the attack. Nakuni fires off with a counter jab, but it doesn't connect. Gracie throws 2 quick punches, but doesn't hit with either. They stand and trade. All shots are either off target or safely dealt with. Gracie stalks forward, pressuring Nakuni. Gracie moves into the pocket. A ferret is brought entirely by Nakuni, leaving him wide open. Gracie connects with a nice jab, and he hits Nakuni with a beautiful upright uppercut. Nakuni wobbles and then falls. Without hesitation, Gracie goes to finish Nakuni off with stomps and kicks. Nakuni's back on his feet too quick, though, and we're now past the halfway mark of this round. Thank God for that. An exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. The 2 fighters engage with strikes, but neither can land a significant shot. The end of the round is coming quick. There's under a minute left. Gracie moves forward, constantly trying to pressure Nakuni into exchanging strikes. Nakuni manages to counter jab. A jab hits home from Gracie and he scores with a right roundhouse kick to the ribs. Both fighters move engaged. Gracie slips past a right hook attempt and attacks with a left jab and kick to the lead leg. Time runs out round 1. That goes to Renzo Gracie here tonight. Definitely. That one goes to Gracie. Yep, I agree with that. There's a barrel, and round number 2 starts. Both fighters move and engage. Gracie counters with a right hand with a jab and a great right hook. They stand and trade blows, but neither can land anything damaging. The 2 fighters engage. Nakuni misses a big right hand, putting him off balance, and on Gracie attack with a quick left hook. Both fighters step in to strike. Gracie counters with a right hand with a right cross. We move into the second round for this round. There's an exchange of strikes at relatively close range, but nothing really lands. That's the end of the round coming quick. The end of the round is coming quick. There's under a minute left. Both fighters come together and strike. Nakuni misses a jab but hits a right cross. Gracie scores with a great hook. The both fighters come together and strike. Nakuni misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a left jab and a powerful straight right. Nakuni goes down hard. He is out. Renzo Gracie takes victory by way of knockout. The visual is Renzo Gracie defeats Yaku Nakuzi by knockout punch in 2 minutes 55 of round 2. The fight is being rated as great. If he held on for another 5 seconds, we got on round 3. But I'm not complaining. At least that's gone for around about 6 minutes. Or like 1 minute. That fight getting a rating of great, which is quite good. Renzo Gracie thanks everyone that connected to the pit for helping him prepare for fighting sponsors. Any sponsors were supporting him financially. Are you ready? Moving on to the next match, in which Trent Jenkins squares off with Talu from Honolulu, Hawaii. He has not had a win, and nor has he. So they're both on the losing streak here, hence why we've put them together. At least one of them is going to come out of this fight looking better than the other with a win. 6'2", 195, 6'0", 265. So the weight advantage is going to him, but the height advantage is going to Jenkins here. And the Tulu is a much larger fighter. An estimate he must have at least 70 on Jenkins, and that could prove significant. We already know all that rubbish. Taku slightly out of range, looking for a chance to dart in and shoot on Jenkins. Jenkins hits the left hand, but Tulu evades a big right punch. Jenkins comes forward on the attack. And my voice is going. Tulu throws a counter jab but misses. Jenkins lands a left hand, then he hits Tulu with a beauty of a straight right. Jenkins lands a left hand and then hits Tulu with a beauty of a straight right. Jenkins comes forward and the two fighters start trading blows. Tulu hits a jab in the exchange. A jab hits home from Jenkins, then he lands a big right. Tulu looks unsteady on his feet as he retreats. That last blow may have rocked him. Tulu is dropped by a big right hook. We've now passed the right halfway mark in this round. Jenkins sends the victory and starts unloaded with punches. Jenkins power on Tulu, landing several great shots that rock him. With Tulu taking a beating, the referee has to stop the fight. The winner by Tico is Trent Jenkins. Visuals Trent Jenkins defeats Tulu by Tico strikes in 1 minute 51 of round 1. The fight is being rated as good. We're having a lot of TKO here tonight. We'll have a look at all the TKO finishes on the end of the fight, but hopefully he name checks all of his sponsors and thanks all of fans who turned out to support him. Nice. Moving on next is David Levetsky versus Remco Grizzly Padalero. So this is going to be an interesting one. I think this is going to be an interesting fight. 6'5", 6'2", 220 to 270. So we're going to get that little message about the 50 lb. The fight begins to touch gloves. Levetsky hits a left hand but misses with a vicious right hand. Padlo shoots him for the takedown. Levetsky can't stop the takedown and gives up side control. Padlo attempts an armbar for Levetsky from the side control. The armbar is locked in tight enough that Levetsky has to tap out. Remco Grizzly Padlo takes the win by submission. Visual results: Remco Grizzly Padlo defeats David Levetsky by submission with the armbar in 1 minute 12 of round 1. The fight is rated as being good. Yes. And then next, thanks everyone connected to Golden Glory for helping him prepare for his fight, and his sponsors for supporting him financially. Well, that was a pretty quick fight. We're getting through these quite nicely here tonight. Next up is Kevin Rosser squares off with the Russian bear Oleg Takatova. I don't think this match is going to take very long either. I think this match is going to go quite quickly, but we'll see. I hope at least this match might take a bit longer because it's one of the main fights I was very excited about. We're going to see what happens here tonight. Mark Haynes will be your referee, which is good. Okay, so judges are Leo Masters, Milton Wilkins, and L. Ellis. Just going to get rid of something out when the big size different. Oh, yeah, we know. Round 1 begins with start with the touch gloves. Takatova comes in, look for the. Oh God, I'm dying. Takatova has to take down and get side control from it. Takatova attempts to move to the mount. Takatova takes the back instead. Rosner rolled over rather than getting mounted. Takatova tries to increase control by getting both hooks in, but Rosa blocks it. Takatover blocks in an attempt to roll him off the back. Takatover tries to get hooks in, but can't. Rosa attempts to turn over. Rosa turns over. Takatover can't over and escapes his grip, but they both scramble back to their feet. Hello, about to see a shot from Takatover, but Rosa was more aggressive and took the initiative. Rosa throws a punch, but Takatover was equal to it. The time is up, and that's the end of the round. Because of the ground passes and the one of one, and nothing really on this side happening, I'm going to give that to Takatover. But yeah, we're going to head into round 2. I'm going to go to Takatover 10-9 on my card. Expected heavyweight is looking, Lions Den as well. We've got a lot of Lions Den people, because there's not many fight clubs around at this time, or, teams. Takatover's looked like he's angling for the takedown attempt, but couldn't take the initiative. Rosa can't connect with his setup strikes, but then hits a nice straight right. Rosa moves in closely, ready to attack. A punch from Rosa fails to land. Rosa slowing just a little as he starts to get into the gas tank. Winning round 2. Rosa throws 2 quick punches, but then hit with either. Takatover shoots him looking for the takedown. A big double leg takedown dives Rosa off his feet backwards. Takatover ends up holding a seat Rosa around the waist, pressing him up against the cage. That is the second takedown of the fight. We're now at the halfway point of the round. Takatover tries to lock Rosa in the choke. Rosa gets caught by the guillotine and tight enough that he has to tap out. But by submission, the winner is Oleg, the Russian bear, Oleg Takatova. And there we go, the official result. Submission guillotine in 2 minutes 3 of round 2. The fight being rated as decent. Nice. We're having some really good matches on here tonight. Give thanks to Takatover, praises his team at Lions Den, his various sponsors and fans who came out to support him. Showing respect, Takatover praises Rosner for his skill and toughness, which is nice. So, the next up is your co-main event. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're going through this show nicely. 22 minutes. Because everyone's getting finished off in round 1, it's a nightmare. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is your co-main event of the evening as He-Man Al Gibson takes on Jason Dalusi in the AFL Overweight Division. No, they don't. Whoever his bout would be Marcus Haynes. Our case judges are Leo Masters, Milton Wilkins, and Earl Ellis. Yep, we're underway. Dalusi ignores the offer of touch of gloves. Ooh. Hello. Dalusi starts forward and striking exchange begins. Gibson lands a left hand in the exchange. A jab hits home from Dalusi, then he scores with a fantastic right cross. Gibson hits him out. That shot has rocked him. Dalusi starts pounding away on Gibson, looking to finish him off. Dalusi fires away, and Gibson is eating powerful shot after powerful shot. Gibson goes limp for a second. The referee leaps in to stop the fight. The winner by knockout is Jason Dalusi. And the official result is Jason Dalusi defeats He-Man Al Gibson knockout punch in 32 seconds of round 1. The fight is being rated as good. Ooh. Jason Dalusi shakes all his sponsors and thanks all of his fans who turned out to support him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because of all these first round knockouts, we're straight into our main event tonight as Chez Bazmiza, who is 2-2 and 1-1, hence why we're doing this fight, takes on Aldo Das Xavier in the open weight division. Shane Reyes is the ref. Fight for the fighter. Judges are Lance Dewey, Pay Bruce, and L'Oreal Masters. Round 1 begins. They touch gloves. Xavier attacks with his strikes. Bazmiza hits two counter left hands. Xavier uses a left jab, but Beesman evades a big right punch. The two fighters come together, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. Xavier initiates an exchange of strikes. Beesman hits 2 left hands on the counter. A jab lands from Xavier, but his big right hand follow-up misses. Beesman lands a left hand. A jab is right from Xavier, but then he catches Beesman with a right hook. We now passed the halfway mark in this round. Beesman had looked like he was angling to grapple, but couldn't take the initiative. Xavier throws a 2-punch combo, but Beesman avoids it. There's under a minute left in this round. The two fighters engage. Xavier misses a quite crossfit, leaves him open to the counter. Beesman comes in with a jab and a nice right hook. Both fighters come together and strike. Xavier misses with a left jab, but then hits a right hand. Beesman lands a left jab and also connects cleanly with a right hand. The two fighters engage. Beesman slips past a right hook and counters with a left jab and a good right hand. Round 1 as time expires. Beesman have got that round. 10-9. That's the battle for start times. And it's strange to see both fighters fail to land anything significant. They stand and trade, but all shots are either off target or are safely dealt with. The two fighters come forward and engage. Xavier's off target with the left jab, but scores with a right hook. Beezma moves to the left jab but lands a right hook. The two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. Xavier initiates an exchange of strike. Beezma lands a left hand in the exchange. Xavier throws a two-punch combo, but Beezma avoids it. Both fighters meet in the center. Xavier misses with a left jab but scores with a right hook. Beezma lands a 1-2. The two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. Round 2 is brought to an end as the time runs out. Beezma again. Only just, though. It was very close. Good effort. That was a very more exciting round to watch. More, please. I'll give that round to Beezma, but only 10-9. I'll make it 2018. Okay. That's the bell. This is round number 3 begins. The two fighters go to toe with strikes, but neither lands anything significant in the exchange. They come together strike, but neither fighter does any damage. Xavier's still moving well, but is definitely breathing a little deeper now. And two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. We move into the second half of this round. Both fighters move the gauge. His other fighter, a good angle and lands a nice 1-2. Beezma scores with a left hook. We move into the final 60 seconds of this round. Xavier fighter comes forward, walking down Beezma. Beezma hits two left hands on the counter. Xavier can't connect with a jab, but then hits Beezma with a straight right. They engage in the center. Xavier misses a right hook and gets countered with a left jab and a right cross that just misses. Both fighters step in to strike. Xavier hits a left jab but misses with a right hand. Beezma hits a jab but misses with a right hand. The time runs out and run 3. Beezma again, but only just. So close. That was a quality round, and the fans are really getting into this. I'll give that round to Beezma, but only 10-9. Xavier needs to take up a level. He's going to lose the fight unless he can find a finish, in my opinion. We're back on the way. Beezma looked like he was going to step in and grapple, but Xavier simply took the initiative first. Xavier throws a quick 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Xavier moves in on Beezma, preparing to throw. Beezma looks very tentative, pokes out a quick jab that hits. A 1-2 from Xavier fails to land. Moving forward constantly, Xavier is pressuring Beezma hits a counter left hand. Xavier fails to find a home for his jab, but then he catches Beezma with a right hook. They stand and trade blows, but neither can land anything damaging. Xavier looks very, very tight, clinches rather than trying to move away. Xavier attempts to wrestle Beezma to the ground. Beezma can't stop the takedown and has to pull half guard. Xavier unloads with big rights, but Beezma covers as well. Xavier blocks Beezma as he tries to sweep from the half guard. Xavier fires away punches, but Beezma doesn't take any undue damage. Xavier blocks Beezma as he tries to sweep a half on the half guard. The time is up, and that's the end of the round. I'm taking Beezma for that. That one goes to Xavier, 10-9 on my scorecard. Xavier's in deep trouble with only one round remaining. I think he needs a finish or he will lose the fight. One last round. Round 5 begins. Xavier takes the initiates an exchange of strikes. Beezma hits a pair of jabs in the exchange. A 1-2 from Xavier fails to land. The two fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither lands anything damaging. Xavier looking shallow, initiates a clinch to buy some recovery time. Xavier looks for a trip takedown. The takedown is complete. Xavier gets side control from it. Xavier looks very tired out there. Xavier looks to get the mount. Beezma can't stop it and gets mounted. We're now at the halfway point of the round. Xavier pounds away on Beezma. Beezma struggles to deal with them. Xavier loads a big right and lands a few powerful shots. Xavier pounds away with rights a couple of heavy shots and gets through and rock Beezma. Beezma shows great composure by keeping his nerve and sweeping Xavier's reins down a strike. A scramble position rolls. Beezma somehow lines up underneath the north-south control of Xavier. Xavier tries Beezma in the ribs with a few short elbows, but they lack venom. Beezma tries to scramble out from underneath Xavier, but he's found firmly in place. The time runs out and the round is over. That was definitely 10-9 in favour of Xavier. The official scores are being reported now. Lansador scored it 48-47 to Beezma. Perry Bruce 48-47 to Xavier. And Leo Massacre scored 48-47 in favour of Beezma's. Chase Beezma is the winner by split decision. Official odds Chase Beezma defeated Aldelodo does Xavier by split decision of 3 minutes of round 5. The fight is being rated as good. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me, but that's it. Chase Beezma thanks all his sponsors for backing him. He also thanks his family, friends and supporters. He says that he's unhappy about the result. In fact, he should have been a clear, unanimous decision of victory. Well, you can go away then, mate. 26,000, 69%. Not the best. Commercial success, not the best either. We need, but we're building up the people, as I say. We've got a popularity increase of 0.4%. But yeah, we'll give all that. As you can see, bloody TKO, submission TKO, round 1. That went to round 4, that went to round 5. Very quick show to do, but there we go. We're going to ignore that. because I ain't been recording long. I'm not going to do the next event. No, the next event can wait till the next episode. But bloody hell, that was a good show. I'm really happy with that. You know, of course, I knew the fight show wasn't going to do as good as, you know. Who is Frank Shamrock? Well, we'll have another Shamrock on the roster. I don't mind another Shamrock. 10 years, £100, yeah. Sure, we have a Google of Frank Shamrock, because I've never heard of Frank Shamrock. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be announcing our new, where is it, matchmaking ad show. This is going to be Sunday, week 4 of January 1995. It's going to be AFL Relentless. It's going to be happening, and not in Nevada actually. We're going down to New Mexico for this, and we're going to go through Advanced Regional so we can get some marketing out there. Everything's unregulated at the moment. I think that will change, but we're going to be doing a one night only tournament. But I've only got, I did say what division did I say is going to be middleweight? I've only got one in there at the moment, with Funaki. So I will wait for the right time to start booking that and looking at that a bit more. But yeah, so that will be happening. The middleweight title will be on the line at Relentless. Absences, and what are we got to? 41, 3 days, 9 days. So we've got about 9 days. So I'll skip forward 9 days and I should be able to get some form of a tournament. But let's Google Frank Shamrock. Frank Shamrock, Wikipedia. Frank Shamrock, born Franco Lizard II, is a retired American professional mixed artist. Shamrock was the first to hold the UFC middleweight, later named the UFC light heavyweight, and retired 4-time defending undefeated champion. Okay. So he is quite a big star then, so it's probably a good idea we sign him then. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the newspaper article. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but I did. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you again real soon for some more WMMA 5. Probably tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.